Please stand by.
Loading. Loading complete.
30,
29, 28,
27,
26, 25, 24,
20,
22,
21, 20, 18,
17,
16, 15, 14, 13,
12,
11, 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4,
2,
1. Now for what you've all been waiting for.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Good morning, good day, good evening, good night, good wherever it happens to be where you are. And hello to everybody who sees this in the future. Well, I don't see anybody in the chat just yet, but hopefully we'll get some people in. I have a special guest today. Coming up, Osakachan doll.
Hello.
Oh. So, I guess I'll just get right into my opening song here. Wait, that's the wrong song. There we are. That's the right song. Every morning, every evening, ain't we got fun? Not much money, oh, but honey, ain't we got fun? The rent's unpaid, dear, we having a buzz. Smiles were made, dear, for people like us. In the winter, in the summer, don't we have fun? Times are bumming, getting bummer, still we have fun. There's nothing sure, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Tax collectors getting closer, still we have fun. Swings and cares, dear, comes in pairs, dear, don't we have fun? We've only started, now we're not downhearted. When I'm laid off, I'll be paid off, ain't we got fun? Landlord's mad and getting madder, ain't we got fun? Times are bad and getting badder, still we have fun. There's nothing sure, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Well, I hope we have fun tonight. And we finally got some people in. And look at that! YouTube decided to give us our names back. I guess that was the whole glitch about putting our handles in instead of our names. Hello, my unfinished journey. Yeah, and we got an Osakachan doll in the chat too.
That's me.
Yep. So today we have our guest here. We wanted to talk about Galaxy Quest, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
All right. Will you be able to stay for the whole show? It runs about 2 hours, so.
No, I can't stay that long, sadly.
Okay, so all right, so we'll just get to.
I gotta cook breakfast for people and stuff.
Okay, so we'll get to your segments here, then we can move on. All right, so we'll just get right into it then. Galaxy Quest. All right. Now, I did do Galaxy Quest for movie trivia, but we're going to cover something a little bit different here. We're covering a little bit of the backgrounds of the characters. Starting with Jason Nesmith, played by Tim Allen. Unlike his co-stars, Nesmith has enjoyed the limelight in fandom. He played Peter Quincy Taggart, the heroic and charismatic leader of the NSEA Protector. The character was based on William Shatner and his Star Trek character Kirk. And I forgot to put the screen. There we are. Gwen DeMarco, played by Sigourney Weaver, is Lieutenant 20 Madison. She was the show's heroine and sex symbol. her job on the crew, who consisted solely of talking with the ship's computer, or simply put, repeating whatever the computer says. Star Trek 7 and 9 and Uhura seem to be the character's way of parody, that the character is parodying here. Alexander Dane, played by the late Alan Rickman. The alien scientist is Dr. Lazarus. Alexander is bitter and regrets his role in Galaxy Quest series. He was a trained Shakespearean actor. If I had to say that stupid line one more time. The character is based on Leonard Nimoy in his role as Spock. Nimoy had written a book, I Am Not Spock, but later embraced the character again, mirroring Alexander's embrace of the character at the end of the movie. There were talks about doing Galaxy Quest sequel, but that was put on hold due to Alan Rickman's death. Honestly, I think they could easily work that into the sequel, while having it parallel Nimoy's death. They could even add in some controversy of Jason Nesmith missing Dane's funeral, the way Shatner missed Nimoy's. Tommy Webber, played by Daryl Mitchell as an adult, and Corbin in Blue as a child. He was the ship's 9-year-old pilot, Lieutenant Lairdo. His character was from the Earth colony, Xerxes B. He was a parody of Wesley Crusher. Fred Head Kwan, played by Tony Chefhub, Tech Sergeant Chen. As a secondary protagonist of the series and chief engineer of the NSEA Protector. As Fred, on the real NSEA Protector, he was supposed to be high throughout the entire movie. His character is based on Scotty from Star Trek. Rock Ingerson, or played by Sam Rockwell, played crewman in number 6, later renamed Guy Fleegman. He played the security chief, a minor character in the series. His character is based on the various red shirts in Star Trek. Malthazar, Enrico Calantoni. He was the leader of the Thermians. He believed the Galaxy Quest TV show to be real. Enrico established the way the Thermians spoke. I probably should have read that in Thermian and speak. Nalaria, Miss Pyle, Pyle is a Thermian and the love interest is to Fred. In the revival at the end of this film, she goes under the name of Jane Doe, playing a fictionalized version of herself. This was Missy's first major role. The role of Lalera he was expanded when it was noticed that Sigourney Weaver's character was the only female lead in the movie. Now, I set this whole thing up so Osakachan and all had a chance to speak her mind about this movie, so take it away.
It's just a movie that I grew up watching, like ever since it first came out. Yeah, and so I just thought it was like always extremely funny at the time because like Tim Allen was still pretty fresh from Home Improvement, so he was still pretty very, very popular, and just the sarcasm alone in it, the film is just classic. And I like how they show like the nerd culture at the time for the cons and stuff, and how they acted towards their celebrities, and how some celebrities took their fans for granted. And so it just showed an interesting light on that perspective.
Okay. It's Oh, and I had my dog Molly show up while we were doing this, so of course we have to play a clip.
Oh, what a cute doggy.
Yeah, she's a cute one. All right. Yeah, whenever she shows up, I have to play a clip. Yep, of her.
Hello, Lunar.
Hello, glad to have you here. I scheduled it for 8 today. Did it not go through, right? Well, 8 my time, it's in Eastern. And shows no you are keeping treats for her. You can see it in her eyes. No, actually, I don't keep treats. I don't usually keep treats by my computer. I usually keep them out in the living room by her crate.
I don't think she means literally next to, like, she knows you're the one that gives her treats.
Yeah, that's possible. Let's break out a song. Putting on the Ritz. All right, we do put on Ritz. Have you seen the well-to-do up on Lexington Avenue, on the famous thoroughfare, with their noses in the air, high hats and narrow collars, white spats at $15, spending every dime for a wonderful time? If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem flits? Putting on the Ritz. Spangled gowns upon the devy of highbrows from down the levee, all misfits, putting on the Ritz. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits, putting on the Ritz. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem flits? Putting on the Ritz. Spangled gowns upon the devy of highbrows from down the levee, all misfits, putting on the Ritz. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits, putting on the Ritz. Come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits, putting on the Ritz. Putting on the Ritz. There we are, putting on the Ritz. And that will bring us to our next segment. We can cover. I know I'm kind of rushing through this a little bit, but I don't know how long Osaka has to spend with us, so I want to get to the stuff that I had specifically you said with her in mind. And getting started, we have Spirited Away. Now, feel free to comment as I go along, so because I'll just be reading off a bunch of trivia for the show.
Go ahead.
Although Miyazaki had considered retiring after completing Princess Mononoke in 1997, he was inspired to make this film after seeing a friend's sullen 10-year-old daughter. And that's Miyazaki right there. Although it was a rich pilot with developed characters, Spirited Away in 2001 and was not made with a script. Miyazaki's films never had scripts during their production. I don't have the story finished and ready when I start work or kind of film. The filmmaker told Midnight Eye, I usually don't have the time. So the story develops when I start drawing storyboards. The production starts soon while the storyboards are still developing. Miyazaki doesn't know where the pilot is going. and he lets it happen inorganically. It's not me who makes a film. The film makes itself, and I have no choice but to follow. This method of creating a story is known as pantsing, a term coined by the perception of one and flies by the seat of their pants. And I hope I'm reading this right because I know I tend to have a pretty bad stutter. There are several instances in the English dubbed version where additional dialogue was absent in the original Japanese release. In an interview with John Lasseter, he explained that it was a necessary addition to help clarify some aspects of American audiences. For example, what is a bathhouse to a Japanese viewer might not be apparent to an American viewer. So this translation issue was fixed by having the character explain, "Oh, it's a bathhouse." From what I hear, they're pretty big in Japan. Is that correct?
Bathhouses, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It's a deep part of Japanese culture.
So I've noticed from at least from seeing the animes, but of course animes are an exaggeration of what I see in Japan, so I can't really go too much by
Well,
that.
daily baths was something that's always been in Japanese culture, even before the Europeans did that. For the Europeans at that time, they wouldn't take baths for like months.
Today, the voice of Chihiro's mother talking while eating, actress Sawaguchi, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, spoke the dialogue in the original Japanese language version while eating a piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken. The actress Lauren Holly did the same thing in the English version while with eating an apple. This reminded me of how Mel Blanc and Blank would munch a carrot to achieve the sound of Bugs Bunny eating a carrot, though he would spit it out right after. I don't know if he spit it out or not. Personally, I think if I was eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'd eat it. This was the first film directed by Miyazaki, in which a child actor was actually child character was actually voiced by a child. She was 14 when she voiced the character, and this was the character of our main character, Chihiro, or later named
Chihiro.
Sen. Chi and Sen both use the same Japanese kanji, which means 1,000, but are different in reading.
No, you got it a little bit wrong.
Okay.
Chihiro means 1,000 searches. Sin just means 1,000. When she gets her name switched to Sin, it's to remove her identity so she can forget who she is.
Yes,
that's why Baba did that to her, so she could lose her identity, so she could keep her forever.
I meant to say Chi and Sen is what I have written here. It's the same. Is that correct?
No, depending on the kanji, there's different meanings.
Yeah, it's the same. It says the same kanji but different meanings. Is what I have here.
Yeah, different meanings.
Yeah, and anyway, the kanji that was left on the paper is the one we're talking about here. The others at the which it stole was the rest of her name, so she'd forget. To animate the scene in where Chihiro force feeds Haku the medicine in his dragon form, Hayawa, Hayao, Hayawa, Miyazaki, he had his animator study a dog's mouth as they provided it treats, while a veterinarian held its lower jaw. So they basically were animating a dog's mouth to get that effect, like that you see there. In the scene where Chihiro squashes is a small worm-like thing that inhabit Taku with her foot, uh, Kamaji he tells Chihiro to cut the line. Cutting the line is a Japanese good luck charm performed by making a chopping gesture through another person's connected index fingers. This is done whenever someone is affected by some impurity during footage of the dubbing process. As in the Spirited Away Nipton TV special, Rumi Hiragagi, playing Chihiro, was not aware of this concept and had it explained into her by Miyazaki. One of the sound engineers commented, "The young don't know it these days." I'm guessing this is probably something along the lines of throwing salt over your shoulder.
A lot of monks would do this, but the thing is, a lot of the Shinto traditions and stuff isn't really like practiced by most commoners these days. It's mostly like those who are really like deeply devoted into the religion. So
Ah,
a lot of the stuff that deals with certain oni, spirits, and demons, or well, we don't really have demons, we have onis. Um, yeah, a lot of it, the younger people, unless they're taught by their parents or the generation before them, they won't really pay attention to it. But then again, when you're 10 years old, how often do you really like focus on religion?
yeah, that's true. In the scene where Sen is on the train, and they pass by an island, and that resembles the Kame House from the Dragon Ball series, and that would be this thing right here, as far as I can tell. It's the only house they pass by during the train scene. It grossed 32 billion yen in Japan, becoming the highest grossing film in the country, surpassing Titanic, which grossed 26 billion yen. It had the record for nearly 20 years until it was finally surpassed by Demon Slayer, Kamatsu no Yabi. And I do apologize for butchering the Japanese here. The Mugen Train, to say that, in 2020. And that's pretty much covers the that one. 7 a.m. past this Friday morning. 7 a.m. But I have it set the wrong to 7 a.m. That's strange. It should have been set to 8 p.m. Hmm. Something must have gotten mixed up. Then again, YouTube's been kind of messed up at these past few days, so maybe there was a mistranslation between misconnection between the StreamYards and YouTube.
So another thing about the film is, Spirited Away had won the Academy Award for the Best Animated Featured Film in 2003. This was way after it came out because it was still uh, breaking records for so many years. But it made it as the very first and so far the only non-English language film to win in that category.
Cool. Yes, I think saw that in the trivia. I might just keep these trivia. I've been trying to cut down on these trivia segments because I was going on them for like 20 trivia facts, and it was taking me like most of the week to put it together. But, so I guess we'll just ask you this is a big question. Like I said, when we were chatting in Twitter X there. I'm familiar with entertainment coming out of Japan, mostly being anime and manga, being very big coming into the U.S. But what's popular in Japan right now?
Well, of course, anime and manga, but tourism is extremely big. Food. Right now it's summertime, so all the festivals are about to kick off. So many foreigners like to come to experience the festivals. A lot of the festivals we've been having for forever, and it's nice to see that kind of cultural influence still shared today. And it's just something really kind and amazing. But let's see, our video games are always popular. Our fashion, Japanese fashion, is really popular. So there's many things.
Yeah, I hear people joking about getting a kanji tattoo, and it doesn't mean what they think that meant.
Yeah, because if you get a lot of the words have double meanings here. So when you are getting kanji done, to us it just looks stupid. It looks like somebody just wrote on you with marker.
Yeah, I imagine it probably would look like having a or something tattooed on you.
Yeah, like funny story. You know the singer Ariana Grande.
Oh, no, I'm not familiar with that singer.
But she wanted to get kanji done, and I forgot what she wanted it originally to say. I think she wanted to like have it named after her album or something, tattooed to her hand, and she got the wrong kanji done, and it ended up saying ramen. And so, no, I cannot ramen. It ended up saying restaurant, or like a soup ramen restaurant or something like that. So she had to went back to them to try to fix it, and so they wrote "I like ramen restaurant" instead. So they didn't improve it at all. It's still stuck on her hand.
Uh, they like to get the word string, instead they get chicken. Well, I like to say that how you do your little songs usually at the end of your videos. Actually, you partly what inspired me to do my Suno songs on this channel. I do it a little bit differently. I do them as standalone songs, but yeah, you were one of the inspirations for doing those.
Thank you, arigato.
Yep.
I tend to put a lot of the songs towards the end because I get scared that somebody might just click on the video if the music video is in the front, and then as soon as it's over, they just change it like to another channel or something.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
do the story, then here's the music.
Yeah, I do mine entirely as a standalone thing, and I'll usually premiere them on this show ahead of time. But I don't know. How about we just play? I played this one last week. Might as well just play. Let's see play one right now so you can hear it.
But I just released the song this morning, so you can play that one too if you like.
Yeah.
I made it for everyone who's having a birthday.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Actually, I think you heard it though. Was it you that asked for it? For Casey?
And I didn't ask for it. I think I may have listened to it. This is one.
Yeah.
This is my latest one, but this is one I did. I usually use Suno to create these songs.
Star Trek boldly went where no show had gone before. Now the scripts are garbage, the plots forlorn. Exploration of humanity was the heart and soul, but now its lens flares the bridges dark and grim. New Trek has got to go. Phantoms left at warp speed, chasing dreams of old. Oh, sing for Star Trek's fall. It will never be the same. Our franchises are broke. They treat it like a joke. They've traded soul for clout, left our heroes up in smoke. Our dreams are torn apart, a dirge for every geek's broken heart. Star Wars spun a saga of a galaxy far, far away. But now it's just a corporate product of the day. Luke's courage and Leia's fire brought light to a galaxy so dark. Disney bought it, and with Rey and Palpatine tore it all apart. The The fans are left to mourn beneath the lightsaber's dull hum. Oh, sing for Star Wars fall, a galaxy now dim. Our franchises are broke, they treat it like a joke. They've traded soul for cloud, left our heroes up in smoke. Our dreams are torn apart, a dirge for every geek's broken heart. The fans weep for stories that once reigned supreme in the void of shattered cannons of our heroes about whom we used to dream. The wreckage of our fandoms where our old myths used to shine. We mourn the tales of glory now tarnished for all time. Doctor Who took us all throughout time and space, but now they've stumbled, rushed arcs that leave the TARDIS lost astray. Its whimsical wonder lit the stars that led the way. Once sets were cheap but charming, now scripts are cheap and lame. The fandom sees it's more about who or what's in the Doctor's pants. Oh, sing for Doctor Who's fall, the tales jump the shark. Our franchises are broke, they treat it like a joke. They've traded soul for cloud, left our heroes up in smoke. Our dreams are torn apart, a dirge for every geek's broken heart. From Klingons to the Daleks, we've been robbed of all our glee. The fans curse the hacks who shattered all our dreams. The fandom's heart is bleeding, but we'll fight for what we love to save our stories. Tales of glory, never give up.
And that was just a sample of what I do with them. I write the lyrics and then have the Suno perform them. And
I write the lyrics to my song, and I use my voice, and then I use like a lot of musical programs on my computer to make the background music to it.
yeah.
And then sometimes I'll load it through Suno so that I'll play a Suno version of it, or like if I don't want it to sound like me, but I want it to be me, so I do that.
Yeah.
But majority of my songs, you can tell which one it's me singing. You can clearly hear my voice.
You have a very distinct voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those of you who want to get a sample of what Osakachan doll does on her channel, here's her happy birthday song.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Feeling like today is full of light. Candles flicker, laughter's near. It's a special day, the time is here. Wrapped in love, wrapped in cheer. One more wish, another year. Friends and family all around, singing loud that special sound. Happy birthday, dance all night. Make a wish and hold on tight. Blow the candles, open your gifts. Share the love from your birthday wish. This is your day. Happy birthday, memories made with every cheer. Counting blessings year by year. Cake and dreams, oh what a sight. Smile so big, heart so light. Happy birthday to you. Wrapped in love, wrapped in cheer. One more wish, another year. Music's playing, hands up high. Let's make this moment shine. Happy birthday, dance all night. Make a wish and hold on tight. Blow the candles, make a wish. Tonight's our time to celebrate. This is your day to celebrate. Let the world see you glow. You're a star, so bright, so true. A year older, a better you. Happy birthday. So laugh, love, and sing along. Every year's a brand new song. Happy birthday. Let's celebrate together.
If I'm not too mistaken, you made that one for Casey Osowski, his birthday.
Yeah, I met him on Tony Stark of Iron's channel a few times. He seems to be a very kind person, and so when I heard it was his birthday, I was happy to help in sending him a very special birthday wish. And I'm glad it really made his day.
Yeah,
He makes scary stories like I do, um, so I like to be supportive and encourage him to do his best.
for everybody, that's Osakachan and Doll's YouTube channel on the chat there I just put. And after the show is over, I'll put her link in the description as well, so you can find it there. All right, let's see here. What else we got here?
Have you listened to any of my stories on my channel?
I've listened to a couple of them. Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
No favorite yet.
Yeah, I'm currently working on a new one. So yeah, when I'm finished writing that and producing it all together, because I do everything by myself. I get all the pictures and I write the story and record my voice and everything, and the narration and the animation, the music. Oh, that's me. I know a lot of people have like teams and stuff when it comes to animation.
Yeah, I just took a picture of my plushie and cut it out for my avatar. Yeah, I got this guy about over 12 years ago at Build-A-Bear. They had a special going for Star Wars themed outfits, and it was my birthday, so I just
Happy birthday!
yeah, so I just went all out that day and bought this guy. Nice thing is something like 10% of it went to some kind of wildlife foundation kind of thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, the happy birthday song you can.
Yeah, my birthday is my birthday is in October.
Ooh, Halloween baby.
Yep. In fact, my grandfather was actually born on Halloween, so we always celebrated quite a bit there.
So he's very close to Spirited Away.
Yeah. Yes. Did she put that into her? Nope, she didn't put it. I'll have to find it some other place. It was somebody did a song as for like the funeral recently. Yeah,
You mean the song I made?
no, it was somebody else. They just made they did their own song for or when they pass on, and they wanted to have it played at their funeral. Well, and they opened it up to allow everybody to use it. I was trying to find it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they have it up on their channel. I'll have to go digging around and find it some other time.
Yeah, I wrote a song for because recently I had a bunch of unfortunate family losses that happened back to back, and so I wrote a song to help with the grieving process of what was going on, and yeah, the song's on my channel now. It's called "Mourn for You."
I've been through that myself. Within the span of less than 10 years, I lost my girlfriend in high school, my mother, my grandfather, my dad.
This all happened in 1 month.
That's even worse. Baz is my uncle. With after my grandmother or his mom passed away. Then his wife passed away that same year. Then his dog passed away. So we kept a close eye on him after that.
Yeah, our family sadly was such a close succession. Like it was almost like once a week we had bad news of someone's passing. It didn't happen to my dad. He's also he's in the hospital currently. We're just hoping it improves, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna.
Oh well, hope things get better for him.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Osakachan doll. Well, great that you're channeled energy into music. Yeah, that's the one that's actually one of the things about this my channel here is to promote entertainment and artwork and yeah, channeling our emotions and grief or happiness, whatever, or into our art is just one way that art is so important to us in our lives.
Yeah, I mean, uh, everyone has a gift what's inside them. You just you gotta learn how to focus to harness it and to express it. Because like there's some things that words specifically like can't say, but you can hum it out or you can draw it out, or even if you're like like there's just many ways to express the energy inside you, the talent that's inside you. So people who have a gift, they should never be ashamed of it.
My pain is centered around and isolation, not law. It's hard to lose what you don't have. Well, you're here with us, so you're not too isolated right now. No doubt, positive vibes radiating in your way. Hey, Osaka-chan doll.
Yeah, Lunar, you have us. We may not be there physically, but you're in our hearts and you're here presently. You matter. You matter to us.
Yeah, you're made of atoms. You matter. Little joke there. Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much all I had scheduled with you. So if you want to go get yourself some breakfast, you can.
Yeah, I'm pretty angry. Plus, I gotta start taking my code medicine and stuff. So
uh, well, if you want to give just a few must things about your channel and what you do and all that, go
sure.
ahead, plug away.
So I tell scary stories, Japanese urban legends, stories that I write and produce myself. I also do fun facts about Japan, such as the top 10 festivals, favorite foods to eat, uh, difference between Oni and demons, stuff like that. I write about as well, and I also do music. So I have music videos that I create and produce on there as well. Um, but majority of my work I write myself. Sometimes I do will read a story that a fan would send me, like, "Oh, can you please read my story?" And so I'll do that, and I'll give them credit for it in my videos as well. Um, but yeah, I try to avoid anything political. I don't I don't keep my channel political free so that it's a form of escapism. For those of you who are like struggling with today's world and the drama that's going around and all the stress and stuff like that, it's nice to just go to my channel and just listen to a story or two just to get your mind out of it. Listen to some music and relax. So yeah, if that's your thing, then you found my channel. Please like and subscribe.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Maybe we can get you on again sometime.
Sure. You should try getting Tony stuck around. He's pretty good too. He can give you some
Yeah,
good movies.
yeah, I do go on and show sometimes on Saturdays if I have the time to do it.
Yeah, his channel is way bigger than mine.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get up to 500 subscribers. Um, yeah, so hopefully when that happens, I can release the Doomcock song that I wrote.
Yeah,
As I said, once I reach 500 subscribers, I'll release that song.
it's another person who's inspired by Doomcock, like myself here.
Well, bye everyone. Thank you for inviting me on the show. It's really awesome. And yeah, see you next time.
Later.
Bye bye. Sayonara.
All right. Get into another song here. It's a hole in the bucket. That keeps the energy up, I guess. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. Then mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then mend it, dear Henry, then mend up the hole. With what shall I mend it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I mend it, dear Liza? With what? With straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With straw, dear Henry, dear Henry. With straw. The straw is too long, dear Liza, dear Liza. The straw is too long, dear Liza, too long. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then cut it, dear Henry, dear Henry, cut it. With what shall I cut it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I cut it, dear Liza? With what? A knife, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. A knife, dear Henry, dear Henry. A knife. The knife is too dull, dear Liza, dear Liza. The knife is too dull, dear Liza, too dull. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then sharpen it, dear Henry, dear Henry, sharpen it. With what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I sharpen it, dear Liza? With what? A stone, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. A stone, dear Henry, dear Henry. A stone. The stone is too dry, dear Liza, dear Liza. The stone is too dry, dear Liza, too dry. Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then wet it, dear Henry, dear Henry, wet it. With what shall I wet it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I wet it, dear Liza? With what? With water, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water, dear Henry, dear Henry. With water. With what shall I fetch it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I fetch it, dear Liza? With what? A bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. A bucket, dear Henry, dear Henry. A bucket. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. A hole. But not to worry. He peed on a stone, sharpened his knife, cut the straw, and patched his bucket. But the water never quite tasted the same again. And we can also tell that by this interaction that Henry would be completely useless without Liza. Don't whiz on the electric fence. See what else we got here. Blue skies. Alright. I was blue, just as blue as I could be. Every day was a cloudy day for me. Then good luck came a knocking at my door. Skies were gray, but they're not gray anymore. Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song. Nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. I should care if the wind blows east or west. I should fret if the worst looks the best. I should mind if they say it can't be true. I should smile, that's exactly what I'll do. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's do one more song. Unless everybody has any requests they want to make, go right ahead. I do have the list in the description. I love you truly. That's a short one. I love you truly, truly, dear. Life with its sorrow, life with its tear, fade into dreams when I have you near. For I love you truly, truly, dear. Our love, 'tis something to feel your kind hand. Ah, yes, 'tis something by your side to stand. Gone is the sorrow, gone doubted fear, for you love me truly, truly, dear. I guess that'd be a good segue into the next segment here. We have a few people who have since passed, so we'll be covering them. First up, we have Bobby Sherman, teen idol in the 1960s and 70s. He dies at age 81. Now, be perfectly honest, I am really not that familiar with Bobby Sherman. Before my time. My passion in the shaggy mop top helped me come into a teen idol in the 1960s and 70s. With bubblegum pop hits like Little Woman and Julie, Do You Love Me? He has died. His wife said it in a statement and posted in social media that he was 81. His wife, Bridget Podlum, announced the death on Tuesday. A family and friend, and get this out of the way. Josh Stamo was posted here message on Instagram. Bye, Abila, half this world holding in my hand. Just as he held up our life with love, courage, and unwavering in grace. Through all 29 beautiful years of marriage, I was his Cinderella, and he was my Prince Charming. Even in his final days, he stayed strong for me. That's who Bobby was. He was brave, gentle, full of light. Sherman revealed he had stage 4 cancer early. Sherman revealed he had stage 4 cancer earlier this year. Sherman was squeaky clean regular on the cover of Tiger Beat and 16 magazines, often with hair over his eyes and a choker on his neck. His face printed on lunchboxes, cereal boxes, and posters that hung on the bedroom walls of his adoring fans. He landed at number 8 in TV Guide's list of TV's 25 greatest teen idols. He was part of a lineage of teen heartthrobs who emerged as mass market, youth-oriented magazines and TV took off, connecting fresh scrubbed Mickey Nelson to the 1950s is to David Cassidy in the 1960s, all the way to Justin Bieber in the 2000s. And boy, was that a mistake. Sherman had 4 top 10 hits on the Billboard's Hot 100 chart: Little Woman, Julie, Do You Love Me, Easy Come, Easy Go, and La 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 If I Had You. He had 6 albums on the Billboard 200 chart, including Here Comes Bobby, which spent 48 weeks on the album chart, peaking at number 10. His career got its jump start when he was cast in the ABC rock and roll show Shindig. In the mid 60s, he starred in 2 television series: Here Comes the Brides in 1968 to 70, and Getting Together in 1971. After the limelight, he moved on. Sherman became a certified emergency medical technician, an instructor for the Los Angeles Police Department, teaching police recruits first aid and CPR. He donated his salary. A lot of times people say, well, if you could go back and change things, what would you do? He told Tulsa World in 1997, and I don't think I'd change a thing, except maybe he'd be a little bit more aware of it, because I probably could have relished the fun of it a little more. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of blood, and sweat and tears, but it was the best of times. Sherman, with sky blue eyes and dimples, grew up in the San Fernando Valley, singing Ricky Nelson songs and performing with a high school rock band. I was brought up in a fairly strict family, he told the Sunday newspapers. In the land insert, Pennsylvania in 1998, law and order were important. Respect your fellow neighbor. Remember the other people's feelings. I was the kind of boy who didn't do things just to be mischievous. He was studying child psychology in a community college in 1964 when his girlfriend took him to a Hollywood party which would change his life. He stepped on stage and sang with the band. Afterward, guests Jane Fonda, Natalie Wood, and Sal Mino asked him who his agent was. They took his number, and a few days later, an agent called him and sent him up with Shindig, and set him up with Shindig. Sherman hit true teen idol status in 1968 when he appeared in Here Comes the Bride, a comedy adventure set in Boomtown, Seattle in the 1870s. He sang the show's theme song, Seattle, and starred as young logger Jeremy E. Bolt. Often at loggerheads and with his brothers, played by David Souls. Well, it lasted 2 seasons. Following the series, Sherman starred in Getting Together, a spin-off of The Partridge Family, about a songwriter struggling to make it in the music business. He became the first performer to star in 3 TV series before the age of 30. That television exposure soon translated into a fruitful recording career. His first single, Little Woman, earned a gold record in 1969. While the rest of the world seemed jumbled up and threatening, Sherman's smiling visage beamed in from the bedroom walls of hundreds of thousands of teenage girls, reassuring totem against the riot of drugs, war, protests, and free love that raged outside. The Tulsa World said in 1997. His movies included Wild in Streets, He Is My Brother, and Get Crazy. Sherman pulled back from his celebrity career after several years of a frantic schedule, telling the Washington Post, "I film 5 days a week, get on a plane on a Friday night, and go someplace for matinee and evening shows Saturday and Sunday. Then get on the plane and go back to the studio to start filming again. It was so hectic for 3 years that I didn't even know what the home was." Sherman's pivot into becoming an emergency medical technician in 1988 was born out of a long time fascination with medicine. Sherman said that affinity blossomed when he raised his sons with his first wife, Patty Carnell. They would get scrapes and bloody noses. He became the family's first aid provider. So he started learning basic first aid and CPR from the Red Cross. "If I see an accident, I feel compelled to stop and give aid, even if I'm in my own car," he told the St. Petersburg Times. "Carry equipment with me, and there's not a better feeling than the one you get from helping someone out. I would recommend it to everybody." Wise words to take away with. In addition to his work with the Los Angeles Times Police Department, and he was reserve deputy with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, working security at the courthouse. Sherman estimated that as a paramedic, he helped 5 women deliver babies in the backseat of cars or other impromptu locations. In one case, he helped deliver a baby on the sidewalk, and after the birth, if the new mother asked Sherman's partner what his name was, when he told her Bobby, she named the baby Roberta. I was glad he didn't tell her my name is Sherman. He told the St. Petersburg Times in 1997. He was named an LAPD Reserve Officer of the Year for 1999, received the FBI's Exceptional Service Award and the twice Citizen Award by Los Angeles County Reserve Foundation. In a speech on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives in 2004, then Rep. Howard McKeon said, "Bobby is a stellar example of the statement to protect and serve. We can only say a simple and heartfelt thank you to Bobby Sherman and to all the men and women who graciously protect and serve the citizens of America." Later, Sherman would join the 1990s era Teen Idol tour with former 1960s heartthrob Mickey Dolson and Davy Jones, of the Monkees, and Peter Noon of Herman's and Termites. The Chicago Sun-Times in 1998 described one of Sherman's performances as dressed to kill in black leather pants, white shirt. He was showered with roses and teddy bears as he started things off with "Easy Come, Easy Go." As he signed scores of autographs at the foot of the stage, it was quickly draped by female fans of every conceivable age group. Sherman also co-founded the Bridget and Bobby E. Sherman's Children's Foundation in Guana, which provided education health and welfare programs to children in need. He is survived by 2 sons, Christopher and Tyler, and his wife. Hello and greetings. We're just into the depressing part of the show. Well, I kind of wonder if any of the people who he helped as a paramedic recognized him from his teen heartthrob days. I mean, just imagine in there, you're laying on the floor, you look up, and there's this person that you idolize staring back down at you. I mean, that'd probably be a pretty exciting thing to see you right off the bat. But we do have other areas we have to cover here. Next up is Lalo Schifrin, acclaimed composer of film and classic jazz works, died at 93. Now, if you don't recognize his name, you'll probably recognize his work. Oscar-nominated composer, conductor, and pianist is Lalo Schifrin, who wrote the scores for Hollywood franchises such as Mission Impossible and Dirty Harry. He died June 26, 5 days after his birthday. Oh, that's a terrible time to die. In Los Angeles, of pneumonia. Oh, it's a terrible thing to die from. I had pneumonia back in September. That is not a fun thing. He was 93. Born in Argentina and classically trained, Schifrin mastered many genres, including film music, jazz, and classical. He composed his tuba concerto, especially for Jean in Pocori, CSO principal tuba, who performed the work with the CSO under Riccardo Muti on June 15th and 17th in 2023. Nominated 6 times for Oscars, including the scores for Cool Hand and Luke, 1967, The Fox in 1968, Voyage of the Damned in 1970. Excuse me, my eyes are deciding to go wonky on me. Just one moment here. Okay, that should help a little bit. Let me start that over. Nominated 6 times for Oscar, including the scores for Cool Hand Luke in 1967, The Fox in 1968, Voyage of the Damned in 1976, The Amityville Horror in 1979, and The Sting 2 in 1983. Schifrin was best known for his themes in television series such as Mission Impossible, later rebooted as a Hollywood franchise, Mannix and Starsky and Hutch in 2019, and he finally received an honorary Oscar for his lifetime achievements. At the ceremony, Schifrin said, "Composing for movies has been a lifetime of joy and creativity. Receiving this honorary Oscar in the culmination of a dream, it is a mission accomplished." Nice pun. The Mission Impossible theme earned him 2 of his 5 Grammy Awards and 3 of his 4 Emmy nominations. It brought him lasting fame, not only for his 1960s TV series, but for his use beginning in 1996 for the 8th Mission Impossible films starring Tom Cruise, with the most recent Mission Impossible Final Reckoning in 2025. It apparently was still in theaters. Of that theme, he composed is for Bruce Scheller's whose influential 1966 and 73 Spy series. He's with the Peter Graves, he's Martin Lundu, and Barbara Bain. Sheffram once said, I wanted a I wanted a little humor or lightness as a theme that wouldn't take itself too seriously. He chose an unusual time in signature, 5/4, because there is something unpredictable about 5/4. Sheffram said, and it took him just 3 minutes to put the theme together, and he composed it without seeing any footage from the series. The first of two Mission Impossible soundtrack albums became a bestseller in 1968. The theme went on number 41 on the Billboard pop charts. A track from the second Mission album, Dundu Incident, had often been sampled in hip hop trip hip hop songs, including "Sour Times" by Portishead Prowl, by Hulson Skelta. I'm not really sure how. Helton Skelta. Sheffrin wrote a jazz waltz for Geller's Private Eye series, his Mannix. Employed a Moog synthesizer for an ambulance-like wail on Medical Center, and composed other TV themes such as Starsky and Hutch, which Most Wanted, and Petrocelli. He even made a cameo appearance in the jazz club of The Cat. Another 1960s series he scored with plenty of Latin jazz. Born in June 21st, 1932, in Buenos Aires, Sheffrin was the son of the concertmaster of the Buenos Aires Philharmonic. He studied piano with attended in the city's Colegio National University during the 1940s. He's paid to have American jazz records, which had been forbidden by director John Perron's regime in smuggling into Argentina. He studied composition with June Carlos Paz, and while at the Paris Conservatory beginning in 1952 with French composer Oliver Messiaen. His daytime classics studies and nighttime performances in Paris Jazz Club led him to believe that the walls between classic and jazz were artificial, because and should be torn down. Returning into Buenos Aires in 1956, he formed his own big band. A chance meeting with jazz great Dizzy Gillespie in Argentina led to Sheffrin moving to the United States in 1958 and becoming Gillespie's pianist and arranger from 1960 to 1962. Sheffrin wrote two large-scale jazz works for him. The Grammy-nominated Gillespie in 1960 and the New Continental in 1963. I've had many teachers, but only one master, Dizzy Gillespie Sheffrin once said. He signed with Verve Records in 1962 as an artist and arranger, winning his first Grammy from The Cat for Original Jimmy E. Smith. In 1965, while also arranging for fellow jazzman Stan Getz, Cal Jader, and Bob Bruckenmeyer. His second Grammy was for composing a jazz suite on the Mass text. In 1965 work for flutist Paul Horan, and that won praise from jazz critics and religious leaders alike. His Grammy nominated in Maquis Aid LP, which placed jazz solstice in Baroque and classical context, became a cult favorite. His reputation as an innovative jazz composer led to an innovation to write for TV and films. Moving to Hollywood in 1963, Schifrin wrote music for the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Kraft Suspense Theater, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and other series, along with the first made-for-TV movie, See How They Run, in 1964. In Argentina, Schifrin had written the film score, El Jefe. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct. In 1958, but credited the 1964 thriller El Fleeins. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting these. I'm definitely butchering these names. Joy House. That'll be easier to say. By director René Clement. And starring Jane Fonda and Alan Delon, which he scored in Paris as his earliest film success. If you compare my career to a house, Joy House, I'm not saying that name again, would be its foundation, he once said. In addition to Schifrin and Cher is an unlikely Chicago connection, and while growing up in Buenos Aires, young Lalo, who started piano studies at age 6 with I feel like this is starting to repeat itself. Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of skim through here real quick. Yeah, this is kind of just repeating itself at this point in the article. We have one other to cover here. Richard Rick Hurst, Dukes of Hazzard, a star known for playing Deputy Cletus Hogg, dies at 79. Yeah, you notice all the typos in that article too, huh? That's okay. My reading is horrible enough to make up for the typos and make it worse. Hearst died in the morning on Thursday, June 26, at the age of 79. Hearst was best known for playing Deputy Cletus Hogg in The Dukes of Hazzard from 1980 to 1983. He is survived by his 2 ex-wives and his son, Ryan Hearst, who is also an actor and stars in Sons of Anarchy. Dukes of Hazzard star Richard Rick Hurst. Let's skip down a little bit. Hearst's first wife, Candace Kennedy, he told TMZ that Hearst died in the morning on Thursday, June 26, and the death was unexpected. She said the cause of death is unknown. Ben Jones, who played Cooter on the Dukes of Hazzard, would also confirm his death in the New York Times. Additionally, the official fan page for the comedy series, which aired from 1979 to 1985, in which Hearst starred in from 1980 to 1983 as Deputy Cletus Hogg, paid tribute to the actor in a lengthy Instagram post following the news of his death. Actually, can find the post here. I think I might rather read the Instagram post. That's okay. Rest in peace. He's Richard Hurst. Born January 1st, 1946 to June 26th, 2025. With heavy hearts, we say goodbye to Rick Hurst, the beloved actor who brought warmth, humor, and unforgettable charm to the role of Deputy Cletus Hogg. On the Dukes of Hazzard, Rick passed away today, leaving behind a legacy that stretches as far beyond in Hazard County. To fans, he was more than a character. He was his family. His gentle smile, impeccable comedic timing, kind-hearted spirit, it made every scene brighter. Off-screen, Rick was known for his generosity, humility, and love for connecting with fans at events across the country. Whether it was a reunion special, or a meet and greet, at Cooter's, he never stopped sharing in his joy with the people who adored him. Rick's passing is a profound loss, but his memory he will forever ride shotgun in the hearts of those who grew up watching him, laughing with him, and loving him. Rest easy, Rick. You made the world a little lighter. Would it be appropriate for me to make a big joke at that point? Fez forever. They'll to you as well. Aren't you glad that we got our names back? I guess that whole thing where we were having our handles in the YouTube chat was a mix-up. Oh, for me, YouTube is still completely screwed up because I have a main account and I go by the Mage Grey Wolf on, and unless I pop the chat out, I can't post under that name. I have to post under my Mage's Media Musings account. For your big joke. Yeah, he did have a really rough time. Name of it. Because everybody had their handle instead of the name. I'm going to take one quick look here. Just real quick. Try and find something. So just hold with me just a moment. Trying to, it's a link tree. Maybe it's under this. I'm trying to find a song. Let's see here. Maybe it's under. Nope, I don't seem to be finding it right now, unfortunately. I was hoping to play Godless Granny song for this as well as my own singing, but I can't seem to find the song right now. I can play it through her live stream video, but I was hoping to find So I was hoping to find it as a standalone at some place. I guess I don't have it right now. I'm sure it'll be available at some point. But at any rate, all these deaths definitely deserve a send off. Of all the money that ever I had, I spent it in good company. And all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befall. And gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it fell unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befall. And gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. But since it has so ought to be, by a time to rise and a time to fall, come fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. Good night and joy be to you all. Damn it, I'm supposed to get it cleaning. I need to get away from the keyboard. And there's no job we can't ignore if we really try. That's something you gotta remember. In the 80s and 90s, being a slacker was a lot of hard work. Tips for waking up: stay away from sugar. 2, exercise. Don't jerk. Let's see. Um. Yeah, I think I was kind of questioning whether I wanted to cover this or not, but yeah, I think I'll cover this. I got some time here. Let's find it again. Close some things up here that in the way. All right. And I still can't find it. Let me try again here. Present. going on here? Okay, there we are. Sorry about that. But this is covering the YouTube Save a Fox founder, Michaela Raines, and died from unaliving herself after online harassment. I don't think I'm gonna read through all this, but I just kind of want to get down to the harassment part here. Save a Fox founder who was victim of a harassment campaign. At this point, her husband revealed that Michaela had been the victim of harassment online and from people she knew in her personal life, as well as other animal sanctuaries. So it wasn't just online harassment, it was possibly to her face. That sucks. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors. And being the sensitive human that she was, Michaela took it all to heart, he explained. And it hurt her. It hurt her a lot. For a year, she pushed through the pain and the people trying to bring her down. But this time, it went too far. She couldn't bear what she was feeling any longer. And she ended her life. Breaks my heart that someone who was selfless and devoted her life to animals could have so much negativity pointed at her. Why? He asked through tears. That's all I can ask is why. And yeah, he did a about 11-minute video and put it up on the Save a Fox YouTube channel, and the guy was a total mess. Well, that's the way people tend to be. If they find any kind of weakness in somebody, they will attack it. It's just really scummy. But I'm kind of doing this one separately. But yeah, we kind of got into if only she knew the immense impact of her soul. I kind of understand the brutality of this culture. Shocked to the core. Never give up. What you have achieved is so vital. And just to reiterate this, the suicide helpline is 988. So if you are struggling with depression or anything, or thoughts such as what Michaela Raines is going through, please do call 988. But I believe she also deserves her own song. And I was thinking perhaps St. James Infirmary Blue News would be an appropriate one for her. I went down to St. James Infirmary. I heard my baby groan. I felt so broken hearted. She had been my own. I went up to see the doctor. She's very low, he said. I went back to see my baby. Good God, she's lying there dead. Oh, I tried to keep from crying. My heart felt just like lead. for she was all I had to live for. I wish it was me instead. I went down to old Joe's barroom on the corner by the square. They were serving drinks as usual, and the usual crowd was there. On my left stood Big Joe McKennedy. You saw my eyes were bloodshot red. I turned to my friends all around me, and these were the words I said. I went down to St. James Infirmary, saw my baby there, stretched out a long white table, so cold, so sweet, so fair. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. She can look this wide world over, she'll never find a sweet man like me. Oh, when I die, please dress me in straight-laced shoes, box-back coat and Stetson hat. Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so the boys know I died standing pat. Get 6 gamblers as my pallbearers. Let chorus girls sing me a song. Put a jazz band on my tailgate to raise hell as we go along. Now that's the end of my story. Let's have another round of booze. And if anyone should ask you, just tell them I got those St. James Infirmary blues. Yeah. You know, on a personal note, speaking as somebody who has dealt with these exact feelings, I can definitely empathize with Michaela and her family right now. But let's try and bring the things back up a little bit, hopefully. So let's see what we get in the song wheel. Yeah, right. Skidmarink, that's a good one to bring things back up on. Down on the Bola Bola Island, where the mermaids chant, there's a big chief crocodile beneath an orchard plant. He loved the scene of selfishly, queen of the gay white wave. Each night, in his shell he'd go to sea, and in tuneful scales he'd rave. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo means I love you. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo means I'll be true. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo. All the time he sang this rhyme. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo means I love you. But when the midnight moon was pale, Kingfish Kokomo came floating over with the sail to say he loved her so. But she was true, the crocodile said, Coconut, go away. I know in a very little while you'll see my lover say, Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. I gotta check something real quick here. See if I had it prepared or not. I was actually getting a test run and set up for next week with this, but seeing as I've got some time here, actually, no, I don't really have the time to do this, so we'll have to do it another time. I'll save it for next week, a radio broadcast. I thought maybe we'll go over a little bit of the little D&D thing I came across. That might be a good one to go with. So this is on the blood golems on D&D. Now, according to this, they had mentioned the blood golems original creators were content with their crude, raw forms and the mess they made. Later creators added in an extra step. They sealed their blood golems and custom made a large side suit of +1 in full plate armor. I may actually disagree with the way they're designed here. Because I'm picturing the blood golem being something along the lines of more like blood pudding. So you would have your 16 people that you drain, as this mentions here, requiring at least 16 people, well, humans or something of various that size. And you would drain them into a pre-made mold, giving it the humanoid form, and you just let it sit and gelatinize. Yes. From there, you can then cast your magic to animate it, which would probably give it some more rigidity and toughness. And of course, you could always add the armor for extra strength and durability of all. But it really wouldn't be all that messy, I don't think. Especially with the magic helping to hold it together. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Another thing I was kind of surprised was that they don't have an official meat golem. The only thing I could find were, as far as meat golems, were homebrews. And that would really make a lot of sense. And you could, take the muscle fiber, connective tissues, sinew, maybe a little bit of cartilage, sew it together with the sinew string, and animate that, and there you have your nice. You have a meat golem there. The closest thing I could find officially was the flesh golem, which is more like a Frankenstein creation, where you take different body parts and sew them together, and then animate that with a golem spell. But you really could get really creative with this. So you have your 16 people that you've set up for harvesting. So you drain their blood, create your blood golem. You skin them. We'll set the skin aside for a moment. Take the meat off the body, all the tendons and stuff. Create your meat golem. So you got 2 golems for the price of 1. Now, what you can do with the rest of it? Well, let's see. For as you could tell, it takes about 12 of regular human-sized skeletons to create a skeleton golem. So you could create one of those. You can still have 4 regular skeletons left over for your own personal army. You have for your necromancer. And of course, this is assuming you're allowed to create this many. I know. Some versions of official versions of playing the game put a limit on how many undead you can control at once. So we'll just kind of forego that for a moment. Or you just have all 16 skeletons running around. Now, what you can do with the skin? Well, you can create skin kites. So those are basically the undead bits of skin that fly around. Or these things called boneless, which are basically the human skin suits that move around like blobs, and they try and wrap themselves around the human, looking for a new body to wear them. And they usually suffocate and strangle and just kind of crush the body that they end up inhabiting. And since we're doing about 6 of them, we could have maybe split those in half. So you have 8 of each. Yes, we use every part of every animal. And we can even use our souls too, seeing as we're going into necromancy territory. I'm not exactly sure what kind of undead head you could create, but you have the grief and dismay of the people, so you could maybe create some will-o-wisps, maybe a wraith, maybe some wraiths out of them. I hate when the body I'm inhabiting gets crushed. You gotta hold. Yeah, you gotta have a looser or bind around it. You don't expect too much from it. Maybe next time around you get a better one. Yeah. Well, that was just kind of a little one-off thing I was playing around with. It kind of connects into a larger story I'm working on, and for a overlord type character, where his childhood sweetheart he finds is a reincarnation of the avatar of the realm, and he becomes an evil overlord or type figure, or a demon lord as such, and begins taking over the world and in an attempt to stop the reincarnations and create an immortal a, a world with that's virtually without death. Eh, that's been more of a passion project and just me kind of having fun and right now. So there's nothing really to it at the moment. Yeah, you must have been a beautiful baby. All right. You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child when you were only starting to go to kindergarten. I bet you drove the little boys wild. And when it came to winning blue ribbons, you must have shown the other kids how. I can see the judge's eyes as they handed you the prize. You must have made the cutest bow. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby, 'cause baby, look at you now. Does your mother realize the stork delivered quite a prize the day he left you on the family tree? Does your dad appreciate that you're merely super great? A miracle of any century. If they don't, just send them both to me. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child when you were only starting to go to kindergarten. I bet you drove the little boys wild. And when it came to winning blue ribbons, you must have shown the other kids how. I can see the judge's eyes as they handed you the prize. You must have made the cutest bow. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby, 'cause baby, look at you now. Let's see here. Just checking something here. And did I remember to do that? Radio broadcasting I was working on. Yes, I did remember to do that. I guess it looks like I could actually probably just. I'll save that for next week, though. Well, some of my plans for your upcoming shows. Those will be more of a random show for next week. It will be covering Life Force, and of course, I'll be getting you another radio broadcast. And after that, my plans are to have a show based around The Shadow, seeing as both the radio broadcast and the movie came out in July. So those are a couple things you can look forward to. Now, let's see who is on right now or going to be on. I'm not too familiar with this person, but yeah, I'm not too familiar with this person, so this is kind of a crapshoot. But they are Yoko X, Yuko X. They seem to use VTuber stuff here, but they're live right now, so there's a place you can go. And I'll be wrapping this up. So, sayonara.